So after starting the season 5-1, the Washington Wizards has lost their last 2 games, Monday at the hands of the Atlanta Hawks and Wednesday at the hands of the Toronto Raptors. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with a Washington Wizards video. Yes, you heard it right, a Washington Wizards video. I decided to kick off my 2021 coverage of the Washington Wizards. Why not? It's a perfect time. The Washington football team is on its bye week, and we're 2-6, and you can pretty much see the writing on the wall for Washington football team, rather, their 2021 season. So I did a poll. I asked you guys, do you want me to cover the Washington Wizards too? Because again, we watched the Washington Wizards over here too, and I was contemplating, uploading videos about it, but I wanted to be sure that you guys wanted to watch it. I didn't know if you guys were going to want to watch the Washington Wizards videos, because I could talk about them as much as I could talk about the Washington football team. But I did a poll, and you guys said you wanted to see it, so here you have it, my first Washington Wizards video of many for the 2021 season. So let's get it going. After starting 5-1, the Washington Wizards, they are now 5-3, again after losing their last 2 at the hands of the Atlanta Hawks and at the hands of the Toronto Raptors. Before we get into it though, I forgot to say this. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL and the Washington football team, or now the NBA or the Washington Wizards. So let's get straight into it. So again, after starting the season 5-1, they now are 5-3 on the season after losing their last 2 games. And when you look at the way the team played in the Hawks game, I felt like they had a strong start to the game. You had Kuzma hitting a 3, you had KCP hitting a 3, you had Spencer Dinwiddie hitting a 3, but I felt like ever since the end of that first quarter, we were never the same. We had a bad start, or a bad finish rather, to the first quarter. We were missing shots, we were turning the ball over, and I felt like that carried its way into the second quarter and into the locker rooms. And then coming out of the locker rooms, we were never the same. I just felt like the energy, and shout out to Drew Gooden. We'll talk more about this when we get to the Raptors game, but he said it himself, and I couldn't agree with him more. And I was saying this watching these games, it seems like when the Washington Wizards gets down, doesn't matter if they're down 9, 8, 7, or 20 or 25, it just seems like we're deflated, we're defeated, and we could see it all over our faces. And if that's not the case, then we're not doing a good job of hiding it. You know what I'm saying? You could see the emotion all over our face. You can see the demeanor changing from when we are up 10 to when we're down 10. And you can't have that. And that's probably my only knock of Wes Unseld, because I love everything Wes Unseld has done through his first 8 games as a Washington Wizards head coach. But besides that, you know what I'm saying? Besides that, I felt like, and you can't really put it that much on Wes Unseld, but I'm going to do it because he is the person that's steering this ship, and he's supposed to be the person that's taking charge. My only thing is, we need to get, the guys to be energetic. We need to get these guys to be up, even when they're down 8. Just still tell them they're in it. We still got this, because again, the team just looks deflated. No one is cheering for each other when they're scoring when we're down 8. It just seems like everyone's just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? We got to get it. We got to get hype. We got to get involved. You want to get the crowd behind you. Give them a reason to get behind you. And I feel like Montrezl Harrell is the only guy right now that's doing a hell of a job of showing emotion, getting the team behind them. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to see more of that. And when we do, you can start to see the momentum shift. You can start to see the opposing team, take bad shots, have turnovers, which is going to lead to, layups in transition, finishing through contact, even 3-pointers in transition with Bradley Beal, Spencer Dinwiddie. And you're going to see the momentum start to shift. You're going to see the team starting to get behind you, the fans get behind you, and it's going to turn, it's going to turn up the building. And whether we're at home, you know what I'm saying, or if we're on the road, you're going to have your teammates cheering on you, and that's going to shift momentum. You just got to have fun with it. And I feel like in the 2 losses, the Washington Wizards didn't have fun with it. You couldn't see them guys having fun, and you can look at it, look at their demeanor on the bench, and I feel like Wes Unseld is not doing a good job of having these guys more into the game when they're losing. You know what I'm saying? That's literally my only knock with Wes Unseld Jr. And maybe you see it differently. Maybe I'm tripping, but that's just my opinion. That's just what I see. Other than that, again, I feel like this guy is doing a phenomenal job with the Washington Wizards through the first 8 games. Now, again, the season is very, very young. We still have a lot of ball to be played, but that's my only knock early and often for Wes Unseld. If he can get these guys to be more energetic and more into the game when they're down, I think that's going to transition to a lot more fun and a lot more wins when we step on the floor. Now, getting into more of the Hawks game, again, like I said, I felt like the Washington Wizards didn't finish the quarters well in the Hawks game, especially that first quarter. And then come out in the second quarter, I want to say Aaron Holiday, he just threw it away. And I felt like Trez could have got it, but it was still a bad pass. And again, you just see the energy getting sucked out of the Washington Wizards, and we were never the same. Came out the second half still feeling like we were in the locker room, sitting down, taking a break. We were missing shots. We were turnovering the ball. We weren't being able to, crash the boards and get rebounds. You want to know what another area that I feel like they killed us in, and we'll get to this when we get to team stats, was the free throw battle. Now, both teams were 100% from the free throw line, but they shot 29 free throws to our 16, and alone Trae Young was 11 for 11 at the line. You can't be giving away 29 points like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, we only had 16. Now, it'll be a difference if they were 29 and we were 28 or 27 or even 30 for 30 at the line. I know that's a lot to be asked for, but the Hawks did it. You know what I'm saying? But we were 29. They were 29 to our 16 free throws. You know what I'm saying? That's not good. Bogdanovic hitting his threes and hitting his shots. It was just like the energy was just out of it, and we weren't responding. You know what I'm saying? You would have Bill with his casual finish and layup and shooting his three. You had Dinwiddie hitting the three here and there, but we were never able to go on a run to cut in that deficit. It's like the Atlanta Hawks had us where they wanted us, and all they needed to do was continue to score deuces to put us away, because again, we were never able to go on that run to get us back in the game. So let's look more at these stats here for the Hawks game and the Washington Wizards. So you look at the Hawks, John Collins had 12, DeAndre Hunter had 11, Clint Capella had 16 and 12 rebounds, Trae Young led the way with 26, and then Bogdan Bogdanovic had 16, Cam Reddish had 15, who had a killer three. We played great defense on Cam Reddish, and he still got it to go, and he is finding his way in the league. So I'm really, it's not a Wizards thing, but I'm, as an NBA fan, an NBA person, I'm really excited for Cam Reddish and to see what he can do in the NBA. Then you had Gallinari with 12. Then you flip sides to us. You had Kuzma with 18, KCP with 11, Daniel Gafford with 4, Bill leading the way with 24, Spencer Dinwiddie with 14, Montrezl Hill with 13 and 8 rebounds, and you had Raul Neto with 6 and Denny Avdia with 9. So I felt like the Washington Wizards, we could have got more out of, KCP and Daniel Gafford, but we weren't in this game to win. You know what I'm saying? But the costly turnovers, and it's not like necessarily that the Hawks weren't turning over the ball, because we're about to get to their team stats too. It's not like they weren't turning over the ball too, because they were. I believe we had 12 and they had 11, but it was just the moments. It was the times when we turned the ball over. It was just at a bad time where we would get a stop, we would score the ball, and then we try to go on a run, and then we just turn the ball over, and then the momentum just goes back to the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into these teams that you guys are going to hear more about it. So getting into it, the Washington Wizards had 36 total rebounds to the Atlanta Hawks 47. That's not good. They had offensive rebounds. They had 13, and we only had 7. So they kind of beat us in the rebounding department. Then we had 27 assists to their 24. We had 4 blocks to their 5s. They had 9 steals to our 7. We had 12 turnovers right to their 11. So again, like I said, it wasn't like we weren't forcing the Hawks to turn over the ball. We were, but it was the key times where we would get our turnovers. It will be, again, like when we're trying to go on a run and cut into that deficit, we never were able to. And don't let the score fool you. You know what I'm saying? It was a 111 to 118, but it was pretty much all Hawks throughout the whole game. You know what I'm saying? And then in points in the paint, we actually beat them in points in the paint. We had 48 to their 42. So again, the Washington Wizards, they very well could have won this game. Like I said, that Cam Reddish three was one of the threes that were just deflating, because we played great defense on Cam Reddish, and he still was able to get it home and make the shot, and it was tough to watch. Now, that's it for the Hawks game. The Hawks game, it was tough. It was a tough pill to swallow, but I felt like we were able to bounce back to against the Toronto Raptors. But boy, was I wrong. So let's switch gears now to the Toronto Raptors as we lost 109 to 100. This is another game where don't let the score or the box score fool you. The Raptors, we were trying to make a run, and you could blame the refs for it late. You know what I'm saying? But we were still not able to finish and hit our shots, you know, like we were supposed to. Again, I know the refs, they played a major part in this outcome in some plays that really robbed us, especially that goaltending one, and then calling the fouls late. It was just tough, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a person that likes to blame the refs, but if you are going to blame the refs for this loss, I'm not mad at you for it. But again, I'm not a person that likes to blame the ref for anything. So OG Anunoby had 21 points for the Toronto Raptors, and then the next guy came in with 15. Precious Achiuwa with 6. Fred VanVleet led the way with 33. He was killing us with that mid-range shot all night yesterday. Then Gary Trent Jr. with 15, and then that is pretty much it for their bulk of scoring. But Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby were just killing us, especially Fred VanVleet again with that mid-range shot. He was able to get to the line all night. And then you switch gears to the Wizards side of things. Caldwell Pope had 8. Then Kuzma had 2, but he left the game with the right forearm contusion, who I felt like has been playing his tail off. And then Gafford with 9, Bill with 12, Spencer Dinwiddie or Bill with 25, Spencer Dinwiddie with 12, and Montrezl Hill with 15, and Avdia with 11, and Raul Neto with 14. So again, I felt like the Washington Wizards had a chance to win this game, and they did. You know what I'm saying? Corey Kispert with a couple threes off the bench. Denny Avdia playing his tail off, even though he had a couple young mistakes. It happens. Bill finishing. You know, I still feel like Bill, behind the arc, he's still struggling a little bit, but it's still early in the season. You know what I'm saying? You see guys like Dame that's struggling early to start off the season. So I'm not going to put it too much on Bill because it's early in the season, but you would like to see him be more of a consistent three-point shooter like we know he can be and like we've seen in the past. But again, I felt like the Washington Wizards had a chance to win this game. They did, but again, you can say it was all on the refs. I mean, I understand it, but again, you don't put yourself in those predicaments if you hit your shots in the third and the second quarter and you get stops and you get rebounds early in the game. That doesn't come down to that. You know what I'm saying? If you put yourselves in position to be successful early in the game. But other than that, there you have it. That is my quick synopsis of the two games. Again, I might be doing this for every 2 games, or I will be doing this for every 2 games, and put it that way. And if you guys want me to do it every night instead of every 2 games, let me know down below. But again, this is my first Wizards video of the 2021 season. Let me know how you guys feel about this video and about the Washington Wizards. State they have a game tomorrow night versus the Memphis Grizzlies, so hope you guys tune in for that as we look to shake back after these 2 L's. As always, been but one. Gotti, like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington football team. Hell to the Washington Wizards. I'm out. Peace.